Welcome to ECL Studios once again. It's another episode, and today promises to be super, super exciting. I mean, we usually have like a few people on set, but today we have a full house. And I'm sure that you can't wait to hear from my panelists today. And today, we're going to break down tech like you've never seen before. So before we begin, I'm going to let my panelists introduce themselves. I bear the name Scorpion, as you already know. Okay, so we have the man behind the projects. Everything Projects. Going by the name?
Bushel.
Bushel. We got Bushel in the house today. And then we have the man that does all things infrastructure, the behind the scenes of everything that you see in tech. Going by the name?
Zizou.
Zizou.
Yeah.
Then we have the man running things, the man coding everything for us, going by the name?
Cypher.
Cypher. The king of bots. Are you here with me? Our one and only?
Chairman 1.
Chairman. So this show promises to be very, very exciting. And today we are just talking about AI agents. In fact, we are come to have a conversation. Today it's not about asking questions. It's about breaking things down. Are we ready for it?
Yes, we are.
For sure.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
Let's get straight into it, guys.
Yes, of course. Now.
Okay. So AI agents. Today, that's what we are talking about.
Right.
The future of AI is crazy. And today we are talking about what's trending out the AI agents. Maybe I may know because, of course, I'm in the space. But what about somebody who has no idea about AI agents? Tell me, Zizou, what's AI agents all about? Like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old.
A 5-year-old. A 5-year-old trying to understand AI.
Yes.
That's exciting. So you can't start talking about AI agents without talking about AI. Right?
Exactly.
And when we speak about AI is basically intelligence in an artificial format. How do we make our machines smarter? How do we interact with the virtual or the IT world, right? And as human beings, you observe that there are certain things that we are good at that nobody else can do. We are creative people. Mm-hmm. So we have a creativity attached to us. We build and form relationships. We're able to reason. We are deep thinkers, right? And we smile. We become friends. We have emotions. Mm-hmm. And these are the things that allow us to be human. And as part of being able to have systems or computers interact with the world and also interact with human beings, this is where all agentic AI came in. Okay. And by the way, when I say agentic AI, I'm also talking about
AI agents.
AI agents, right? So think of this. We have new AI models that are coming out, right? So day in, day out, AI has been revolutionary in the past few years. And it's going to get crazy from now till maybe the next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, 5 years.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to get crazy. 2025 is going to be all about AI and a lot of modernizations. I'm sure if you look in the news right now, everything you see in the news is AI related now.
Yeah, definitely.
Every company is talking about AI. If you don't integrate AI into your existing processes, you are left behind. Now, let me not digress so much, because if you leave me to talk about AI, I'll talk so much, right? Uh-huh. So there's a new wave of AI that became very popular. AI didn't start today. AI started from way back, but it became popular because of a new wave of AI called the AGIs, the artificial generative AIs.
Okay.
And basically, AGIs allows us to be able to interact. So if you look at examples like ChatGPT, Gemini, and all those things, this is general intelligence. They consume vast amount of data, and then you interact with them. So it's able to use the data it has and then predict patterns and words and gives you an output. But in this case, it is general. It doesn't actually perform actions, right? It's just giving you information. Then we are looking at a certain set of AI tools that say that, okay, you can give me, I can say draft an email for me and then you do it beautifully. But can you send the email?
Okay.
That is where AI agents comes in
So
because
they are performing the actions.
they are performing the actions.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
Chairman, do you have something to add
Yes.
to that?
No, so I think Zizou has made the point quite clear. But to break it down to a 5 or 2-year-old who is so curious and wants to know about AI agents, I will take it from an example where AI agent will be a super smart robot friend to
Okay.
a 5-year-old, and this friend is able to see what's happening around it, think about what's happening around it, and is able to make decisions based on what's going around it. So it's more like a superhero with special powers.
Nice. Cypher.
Yeah, so I mean, what I'll add is, I mean, like Frank said, Chairman, I mean, AI agents are like robots, right? That's kind of a robot friend that is able to learn from its environment, you
Okay.
know, and then be able to make certain decisions on their own. So for a 5-year-old kid, let's say, what kids mostly hate is to come home and then you tell them to do their homework. So these are the reasons why these AI agents are important. So for such a kid, you can have a robot that will be able to think like how the kid will do their homework. Basically, that is how AI agents actually work. So they actually utilize the technology from artificial intelligence to be able to learn from their environment and then make quick decisions on their own.
Nice. Bushel, can you give us some of the examples, like practical examples, like, Chairman has given like a robot, just so that we get a better understanding of things?
Okay. So for practical examples, let's say when you get into a company, something like the HR recruitment process. So oftentimes you send some, let's say, job hunt things out there, and a lot of people send their CVs for these jobs. Is someone going to skim through all these CVs that has been sent?
Let's say we have like 500 applications.
It's going to be a whole lot of stress for the company or for the people in that department. So you can have this agentic AI skim through, look for the keywords, look for the people that you are searching for, and have it give you the best out of all the applicants. So
Okay.
that would be a typical example that you can have AI assist you with. Yeah.
That seems interesting.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I want my guests to relax. So let's play a little game.
All right.
I'm going to read out some quotes. Since we say AI agents are taking the actions themselves, let's see if we can decipher, take it from your name, Cypher. If we can decipher,
Bars.
No.
if we are able to tell if these quotes are from AI or from humans. Are we game?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just going to read them out. So if you have the answer, you just let me know. Okay. So the first one. Success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome. Zizou, is it a bot or it's a human? That's
It's
it.
human.
It's human. And you're right. This was said. This was said by Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, and I know him.
You do?
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so you know the code, so you have an advantage.
I actually know Arthur.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so Cypher. Machines can be programmed to think, but can they be programmed to dream? Is it a bot that said this, or it was a human that said this?
This is a human.
This is a human.
I think it's a bot.
Unfortunately,
I think it's a bot.
That's right. That's right.
this was said by a bot.
That's right. So
Yeah,
at least.
that's a good effort.
All right. So, Chairman, in the future, we will all have digital twins who work while we play.
Human.
A human said that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's a bot that said it. It looks like the bots are taking over. Okay, Bushel. A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it doesn't open.
Human.
Human. Okay, this was said by Frank Zappa. Does anybody want to redeem themselves? Cypher and Chairman, do you want to redeem yourselves?
We want to redeem ourselves.
Let's redeem ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. So, who wants to go first?
Cypher will go first.
Cypher. One day, AI will write the best poetry, but will it ever feel like heartbreak?
Yeah. It has to be AI.
Cypher, what do you say? Is it AI or this is human?
I think it has to be AI.
It is AI. It is AI. It's a philosophical AI.
Yeah.
That said this. Okay. So, Chairman, the last one for you. The secret to getting ahead is getting started.
Is that AI or human?
Which one are you going for? Which one are you going for?
This is not AI today.
Yeah,
It's human.
it's a very good answer.
It's a human. Please take it again. Take it again.
The
Take it again.
secret to getting done is getting started.
I think it's human.
It's human. It's said by Mark Twain. So, guys, our guys made it.
Yes.
Initially, the bots wanted to confuse them a bit, but I think we are all sorted, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So let's come into a better understanding of our AI agents. Let me start with you, Chairman. AI is doing a lot of automations, okay? But do you think that eventually it's going to replace people, or it's just going to assist people?
Well, I think that AI is... So people should not fear AI, right? AI, I see, is a tool. It's not a replacement. It's not for replacement. And people must accept and work with the tool for their own efficiency.
So what happens if they don't?
So you see, AI will... So the point is, AI will replace the task, not the people.
Okay.
So there are two different things. So they are replacing the tasks that you are doing, not the people. And Zizou made mention of the fact that there are things that make us human. Those things cannot be easily done by AI. So for example, if you pick work like leadership, right, customer service, counseling, these are jobs that require human empathy and emotions.
No, but guys, seriously, if I should take, let's say, any of these platforms and I type, I'm going through a lot, maybe my boyfriend broke up with me, what do you think I should do? They'll still, I'm sure these platforms will still give you some information, some wholesome information.
So the point
Right,
is, you are right. It's not that it's not giving the information, but it's not something that it can easily do. I don't see where AI will show you empathy like a human will do. That's human aspect, what makes us human. You see, so I think that people should not panic about AI. It's a tool that you have to work with for you to be more efficient, because you see, I believe that your work, the work you are doing, will be future proof if you are able to be adapt to the things that AI is bringing for it to be more efficient and effective.
I think I agree with that. Zizou, what about you? What do you think basically about the fact that AI is in the cloud? But how really does it translate to job opportunities for people? Using agentic AI, as you call it.
Yeah. It's a very good question. And I'll start by saying that AI opens a lot of doors for everybody.
Okay.
So I was reading an article, and then I've forgotten the writer. He said that AI will not take people's jobs, but people who use AI will take people's jobs.
Okay.
Right?
So once you understand how to use AI, you
Exactly.
have the advantage.
So it's all about how you position yourself to meet the trend. The thing about technology now is that if you don't jump on the bandwagon, it will go and leave
you behind.
Exactly. So AI is going, and you see, you realize that there's been a technological wave. There's been a whole talk about cryptocurrency, blockchain. It's sort of dying down now. IoT.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, now everybody's talks about AI. You have to jump on it, right? Everybody is integrating AI into their organizations, into their businesses, into different aspects. So if you take a business like, let's say, research, you can't go through papers more than a bot. You can't make correlations between different theories and ideas and philosophies
And
more
all
than
those
a bot.
analysis.
You can't analyze more than a bot. You sleep, you eat, you drink water, you go on break. So if you say you are a research assistant and I have a bot that can do that for $5 per user per hour, you are losing that job, right? But if you are working with an AI So me, I'm a research assistant, but now I've adopted an agent AI that is allowing me to do that. I'll move way faster.
Exactly, and you do
I'll,
more.
I'll be able to do more, right? So it's all about how you position yourself, and there's a myriad of job opportunities that will come out of this. Not just research. If you take something like marketing, for instance, now going through digital content, social media feeds, you can have a lot of AI agents that are doing these things for you, and it will free you up from a lot of these mundane tasks and allow us to be creative like we are supposed to be.
The marketers, are you listening? Are you listening? There's
I'm
a
sure
lot
they're
out
listening.
there for
I'm sure
you.
they're listening.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're listening.
Yeah.
I like that. Bushel. So tell us, what do you think the biggest mistake is that companies do? Because some people have rolled out AI and somehow it looks like it's flopped on them. So what do you think they are doing wrong?
I think it's the sensitization. I
Okay.
think they need to speak to the people, to get through to them, to let them know that this isn't here to take over your job, to take away your livelihood. It's just to assist you. They should be looking at it from this perspective. Let's say if my company is able to do more, it means we earn more, we make more,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we're able to even hire more people. So AI is going to improve our operations. We earn more, we employ more, we all get more bonuses. So at the end of the day, they should look at it from that angle, get through to the people. If the pushback from the people is lesser, we have
There's a
successful-
better adoption.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we
Yeah.
can do more with AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cypher.
It's easier to think about AI like your best friend, you know,
Yeah.
or your
Yeah,
personal
exactly.
collaborator.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here to
Than a
help,
competitor.
not
True.
here to take away
You
or
see,
take over.
the organizations that had hotspots is trying to employ, like they are employing AI agents even more than human agents now. So imagine that you have an employee base where half of them are AI,
AI.
are AI agents.
And it,
Exactly.
and it ties to what like Zizou just said about the opportunity that it creates. So if they are hiring more, it means that they have to develop more agents.
Exactly,
So more
yeah.
jobs for the developers of AI.
So I think, I mean, the problem with we humans trying to, create that notion that AI is coming to take over, we need to see it like we need to actually upskill and then accept it. So it's part of the change as the human race goes on, right? I mean, humans have come a lot, and then we are currently at this stage where you have technologies with respect to AI emerging and all that. So I think we need to adapt to it and then upskill to that level.
Okay.
Right?
Well, what are some of the interesting jobs that you foresee as a software person?
So, I mean, currently AI has, created a lot of opportunities when it comes to jobs. I mean, we can talk of data analysts, you can talk of AI engineers, you can talk of robotic process engineers.
Go on.
You can talk of robotic process automation engineers who are working tirelessly to build repetitive tasks. Bushel spoke about emailing, automated emailing and all those things. So these engineers are, using these AI tools to build this kind of automated system to be able to achieve those kind of automated emailing.
Okay, that sounds very, very interesting. So speaking of which, I'm going to jump into another segment where we are going to look at some futuristic AI or future AI jobs.
Yeesh.
And then maybe you guys can tell me, I'll give you the description of the job. And then maybe you guys can explain it, break it down. Let's see if it makes sense.
Okay.
So let me just give you an example.
All right.
So maybe I say an AI prompt engineer. And then the explanation would just be someone who fine-tunes the prompts so that they can feed the AI the right prompts and then gets exactly what is needed. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah,
It does.
It does make sense.
It does.
It does.
Who's going to be starting for me?
I think Basha will start.
If I say we are going to see maybe an AI ethics consultant, what do you think that would sound like?
Ethics. So ethics it's a really dicey topic, because when it comes to AI, because they aren't human, it's determining the right and
Wrong and drawing the lines and the
It's
boundaries.
going to be it's going to really depend on how well these engines were trained. So I think it's just going to be able to help people decipher between this is wrong, this is
So the
right.
consultants will be ensuring that the AI is going according to.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting.
Yeah.
Because, for
Yes,
example,
yeah.
you can't possibly go to ChatGPT right now and type, "How do we make a bomb?" That you're not getting a response, like any response. on
Because
how to
somebody
make
has
it,
thought
because
about
that's been
that
trained
and then they've
to
trained it
neglect some of
Yeah,
against
these
it.
because
Okay.
previously it was responding to all
everything.
these,
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
So ethics is going to be a very wild one.
exactly.
Yeah, so,
So-
I think, I mean, it's one of the areas where a lot of AI engineers are looking into in terms of
As in the ethics
correcting-
part?
Yeah, in terms
Okay.
of correcting the biasness of
AI.
AI tools, right? So these are areas where, I mean, we still have AI engineers working around the clock just to make sure the biasness in AI models are actually, corrected. Right?
Okay. On that note, Cypher, let me ask you a question. If I should say there's a job like metaverse event planner, how would you describe it to our audience?
Metaverse. I mean, when we talk of metaverse, I mean, we've heard of what Facebook is trying to do with Meta, trying to create a kind of a virtual reality where, I mean, he mimics real life scenarios where people can interact,
Yeah.
with various characters and all that. So
I think there was a movie like that, right? Ready Player One.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think AI in metaverse is also an important area where, I mean, humans can actually utilize that environment to, better our lives in terms of mimicking real life scenarios. Yeah.
Okay, so the AI, the metaverse events planner will probably be somebody who is simulating an event, but
Events in the metaverse.
metaverse.
Right.
Okay, so that yes. All right. That sounds interesting. Zizou. I feel like asking you a hard one.
Please ask me a hard one.
So, a neural interface developer.
Hey.
That'd be hard. That'd be hard.
That'll be very hard.
Neural interface developer.
A neural interface developer.
Yes.
First of all, developer, he develops. The neural interface.
Be
The
sensible, my
brain.
So yes, yeah.
Deep neural networks.
Neural networks.
Exactly.
Where
Okay.
is going on?
But you see, when you talk about neural, you start thinking about like deep thoughts, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
brain.
Like brain thinking, like a lot of cognitive stuff. And we start thinking about develop. So basically, if you take an AI agent, or in fact, in a futuristic AI model where we are developing solutions, we are assisting medical centers, we are working with a lot of research centers. Using such a solution or an AI model, we'll be able to delve into areas where we can uncover a lot of like deeper,
Patterns.
what should I say?
Patterns.
Patterns, exactly. Deeper patterns when it comes to AI, or in fact, trying to mimic the human brain based on how AI works. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. In fact, I don't need
Yes.
to.
It does. I agree with you.
Chairman, the last one for you. Virtual reality therapist.
Zizu, you know,
Kind of.
I mean, it's similar to Meta, right?
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what I'm mentioning.
me meeting a therapist in the virtual
In a
world.
virtual world.
Yes.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be interesting?
It would be. You see, everything virtual will be interesting. Metaverse, I'm excited. I wish he was here today. You see, apparently people have started buying lands on the metaverse.
Exactly.
Wow.
So,
People-
if you want to make some investments, you can
You
take
have
it.
to start
You can
making
take it and
investments
invest
now.
now because even the lands in the metaverse are finishing.
Do you think it will finish? I think it's,
Talking about land.
it's infinite too.
Nah,
The
but
metaverse
no,
is
it's-
infinite.
wait,
It's not.
Talking
No, guys, talking about lands.
I have one.
I have one
interest-
question.
When you are,
No, let me finish my question. Do you think we will have metaverse land guards?
that is exactly what I was
We're on the same way, like my brother.
Yeah, that
we
is
are thinking about
exactly.
like we have land guards in there.
I think whoever controls
You
the
say,
metaverse
you know, they say
will
great
be the
minds
land-
think alike.
Exactly.
It's not a great
exactly-
question.
Are we going to have land guards?
And
you
land
know?
litigation.
I
in
think
the
that whoever
metaverse.
controls the metaverse will control the
The
land,
thing is that the
basically.
metaverse is digital, right? So you have digital land guards.
Yeah.
Digital and that. I like
You have
that.
digital
I like
and
that.
that.
So it was a great question, I think.
Plus,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of
No,
the future.
No, it actually makes
careers.
sense
Yeah.
with the digital. I mean, you know, it's more tied to you
Digital IDs and
having
all those
your
things.
your tokenizing, you know, your various assets in the metaverse. So you can take the tokenization as your land guard, because once you tokenize your assets in the metaverse, it becomes unique, something unique to you. You understand?
Okay, Chairman, back to you. Where do you see AI going in your space? Just tell us a bit about it.
Okay, so where I feel AI is going is that in some few years from now, I think we are creating models and AI agents that are going to be, if not more intelligent than humans, be like humans and reason like humans. Because I see even ChatGPT, for example, I see in few years from now, it's going to make it more natural, the way it responds to us, and make conversations more natural, feel more natural, because it might have learned from this voluminous data sets and make it more efficient in the way it reacts or interacts with people to make conversations more natural.
And I'm hearing all the interesting things, and I'm still getting scared.
You don't have to be scared.
You should be excited
You should be excited to,
Yeah.
you know, embrace
To
it.
embrace what
because
AI
the future is
Exactly.
bright.
Very bright.
This is one that's bright note. as AI agents, AI is getting smarter, is getting bigger. I mean, how are we going to keep it running smoothly? What do you think the big challenge will be to keep it running behind the scenes smoothly?
So the thing about how AI is working now is solely on data.
Okay.
That's like the primary thing, because you need to feed it with data. The thing is, AI is like a baby, right? It needs to learn, it needs to interact, then it makes decisions, it learns from it. If it touches this and it's hot, then
The
it will
next
reiterate and say, okay, next time don't touch it, or next time touch it slower, you know?
Okay.
So all that it's all part, like there's a lot of data that we have to feed into AI. Now, to be able to get to a point where we have, you know, when we are talking about AI, we are trying to get to a point where we can attain like full autonomy, right? Where AIs can function and exist on their own.
Yeah.
And this will require a lot of data. To be able to handle this data, we need a lot of infrastructure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I think that was 2 weeks ago, it was in the news that OpenAI, Oracle, and then SoftBank had gone into a partnership for over 3 to 5 years with a $500 million deal,
Wow.
right, to build data centers.
Okay.
$500 million. You
That's
can
a lot
imagine.
of
So in the
investment.
first year, they are investing $100 million for data centers for AI in the US. And then over the next 3 years, they will do like $500 million. And it's not just those three companies, other small, Microsoft and other companies are also pitching in.
Of course, even
But
in
you can-
ECL here, we are looking at expanding.
Certainly.
Exactly.
Certainly. But you can imagine if US or these companies are thinking that they want to invest $500 million in infrastructure. So the outcome is going to be scary, because I'm imagining if all this investment goes in, it means that there's going to be like a huge turnaround when it comes to how AIs operate.
Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be revolutionary. The thing that is scary is that DeepSeek decided to thwart everything that has been done all this while,
I
because
know.
because they came and said that they built their model with $6 million, which is way cheaper.
Yeah.
So
Meaning, if we're
And-
going to use that figure that you
I
mentioned,
Doesn't mean
then
that
that's-
OpenAI, they are
that's so
inflating
much.
the figure. They inflated the figure.
not that it's inflated, but that's what happened, right? A lot of
I
research
think
went
maybe
into.
because it was a piloting stage, understanding these things. Now we have people who have the base knowledge, so they don't need as much resources to get things done or to get the platforms working. That's what personally I think.
So OpenAI is saying that they believe DeepSeek modeled their
Exactly.
R1
Yeah.
on ChatGPT.
Okay.
So it learns, because DeepSeek R1 is saying that they used what's the name of the AI? It learns on its own.
the autonomous.
No, not autonomous.
AGI.
Not AGI. Okay,
On-
forget. When I recall, I'll say it. But basically, it learns on its own.
That's
and
you more of like unsupervised learning.
more of like
that's what-
unsupervised learning, right? So basically, with ChatGPT, it was fed data and then it started. But R1 is saying that they just threw the guy in the box, start learning, start
where?
doing things. And
That's
and
from where? That's where
exactly, right?
Their point.
So now there's a method called distillation. So they are saying that R1 was distilled from OpenAI.
AI.
but there's no
Chats.
point reinventing the wheel if it's already
Exactly,
there. Why
because-
would we
Yeah,
reinvent
but lots used to come out of it if that's the case.
it? If everyone's like,
If that's the case.
determine
They're
that
able to prove.
yeah,
that's,
Lots used to come out of it. So I mean, I think that they are the two, but DeepSeek hasn't responded yet. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
We are waiting to see if there's a response or not.
Yeah,
China to do it for you.
China will always do it for you.
I always trust them.
And you know, this is after Nvidia. I mean, US had banned chips to Nvidia
Yeah.
chips from
Yeah,
going
chips,
to
yeah.
China, and the people were still able to do it with
Without-
$6 million.
This is interesting.
It's a miracle.
Bushel, as a project person, how do you think we can be ahead of the curve, or project managers can be ahead of the curve, so that AI doesn't overtake them? Because the thing is, we are always behind. In fact, with regulation, with ethics, AI and technology always goes ahead of us. How do you think we can push ourselves further this time so that we don't fall back in terms of adoption of AI agents and all of that?
So even when it comes to project management, AI is playing a very significant role now. There are a lot of courses out there, AI in project management, how to infuse the two, because it has to do with a lot of details, a lot of data, a lot of stakeholders. So infusing AI in there, letting AI help you with drafting these emails, the time-sensitive ones, the right tone of emotion, these document preparation. So AI is really going to be project partner.
Okay.
If you look,
The partner thing has come up again.
yeah.
You have to partner.
Yeah, you have to partner with AI. I
Otherwise-
mean,
Okay. Cypher, so tell us, if you had unlimited resources as a developer, what kind of AI-powered tool would you build to make life easier?
I'll build God.
What kind of God?
I'll build a God.
Ticket number 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just by the way. For me personally, I mean, three things that make life, that make up life. That's, oxygen, water, and then food. So if you look at the food, I'm looking at having an AI expert system to actually, control the food supply chain.
Yeah.
From farmers, building AI models for them to be able to predict, crop diseases, for them
Okay.
to be able to giving them information on how to, plant particular crops at a particular time, checking the weather conditions and all that. And then from there to maybe after crop yield, how you are going to transport this, produce through maybe distributors to retailers. How are you going to do the transportation? Are we going to get maybe an AI model to check, optimization in terms of cost of distribution and all those things?
Okay.
Throughout to retailers to the consumer. How is the consumer going to get access to those farm produce and then the quality of it? So more of like having an AI system to actually manage the entire food supply chain, right? That is
end to
what
end.
I would look at.
Oh, that's interesting. Charlie, my guys are sharks, and truth of the
I
matter
know.
is,
It's interesting you said God, because if you look at those attributes from where we want
Yeah.
to go to, if you look at the attributes of this omniscience and omnipresence and all those things,
Exactly.
see,
AI is already
AI
doing
can
all
get
of those
there.
things.
Because if it fits to a point, it will be omniscience.
Yeah, bringing me back to this 666 thing. Oh.
No, religion and
Why you know
technology.
everything?
They don't
They don't go together.
mix. They don't mix. Okay. My guys actually walk the talk, because right now you can see that it's not that they're just reading from somewhere. They actually know their stuff. So let's do something small to wrap up. And I think since you are sharks, let's act like we are a Shark Tank here. So I'm going to mention an industry, and then you're going to pitch something. Then we all peruse and then find the loopholes in there.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds like
Sounds
a
fun.
good idea.
Okay, let's talk about health. Who's going to pitch something on health?
I think I'll do that. So,
Okay.
So for health, let's say I'm looking at where a point where you walk into a health facility and maybe your vitals are being checked by an agentic AI somewhere or a machine somewhere, so that machine is able to monitor your vitals and maybe predict the illness that you came with. So you don't always have to see a doctor. And bringing that also into what we are doing with Kolebu EC or Kolebu and Microsoft partnership, how about infusing AI in that so that people who come for these checks in the van, there could be a live feed, not even only the pictures, but vital, so that the people will be able to know at the person sitting down there, at what point do we get the present vitals, the live vitals, for them to make informed decisions. Because right now, what we are doing is more of graphics and not getting vitals in real time as to how people to predict and also help them with their surgeries. And so that's what I'm looking at, and I'm sure AI will be able to help us.
Before my sharks come in, just so that for the sake of the viewers who don't know what we are talking about, we are
Okay.
talking about our telemedicine projects with Kolebu and Microsoft.
Sure.
So just to give you a backstory. So our sharks, let's poke holes into into this idea.
And
Okay,
for that-
so for me, I think, I mean, it's a good idea. One of the the most successful industries for AI is actually healthcare.
Okay.
That industry has really benefited from AI. I mean, if you look at diagnosis systems that are being built in hospitals and all that. So from what he's saying, I mean, we are looking at kind of remote healthcare.
Okay.
So with telemedicine, for instance, you have doctors who collaborate online to actually give, let's say, instructions or
and
share
feedback.
ideas on how to perform a particular surgery based on your situation. Now, from where he's coming from, we want to get to a certain stage where you don't actually need these doctors to come online. Like, you have these AI expert systems built in, and then once the patient gets to the van,
facility,
and the system is able to assess whatever
know
bends
what has to
and
be
then
done.
do predictive decisions on how to carry out the surgery. Right. That is where, I mean, we want to get to.
So sharks, are you going to invest in this thing?
my brother, are you investing my business? You are not
No,
investing.
I think everything you said is laudable. I'll invest 2 CDs.
Investment declined. In fact, investment declined.
Let's move into another space. Sports.
Alright.
Who's talking sports?
I'll talk sports
Okay.
because I love sports.
Okay.
Yeah. And just because we transitioned from healthcare, I'll try and relate it to healthcare. Because for you to be able to perform very well in sports, you need to be healthy, right?
Yeah.
And vitals are really important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine I'm a basketball player.
Yes.
And-
You look the part.
And I have a wearable
Okay.
that is linked to an agentic AI that basically checks my vitals on court, checks my shooting form, checks my percentages. For instance, today I shot 20%, checks my speed on court. It's able to make predictions such that, okay, with this rate, in 2 weeks' time, you need a time off because this will
You would
happen.
have-
It's able to give
okay.
you trend analysis on how you are going. It's able to make certain predictions like your shooting form is not going well. You need to maybe shoot towards the left. So now it is able to automatically, it is able to design like a training criteria for you where maybe for the next 3 to 4 months, shoot more towards the left or more towards the right.
Yeah.
So like all that is planned for you.
Okay.
And just because you're feeding it some data and it's learning from how you are moving on court, how you are, maybe today you were running, but in running you were skewing towards the left.
There's
there's
something
there's
wrong.
probably a hip problem,
Okay.
something. There's some diagnostics, So there are a lot of things that these agentic AIs can do for you, and because they will be linked to other systems, we can have them interact, consult your doctor, send it to a medical practitioner. All these things, you'll be taking actions on them. Aside that,
Hey.
there's another interesting one. I'll put my boys on.
Okay.
If you think about betting, right? Right? Imagine, because the boys they bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And the girls too.
Are you part?
Some girls.
Are you part?
It's not up for discussion right now.
So think about it. these betting platforms, odds change. There are teams that you need data to be able to analyze a trend, right? You need data to be able to look at certain patterns. Maybe this team has been playing well for this while. Over the years, it plays terrible on Tuesday nights, or on there are little things that you can't pick up as a human being, but with these AIs and from trainings, it's able to make all these correlations, and it improves your betting. You can make your agent do the betting for you. Whenever it meets a certain criteria, place the bet, deduct from my account, and then I'll be sleeping and be making money.
Yeah, it makes sense because, I mean, the betting companies, I mean, they're actually using AI behind the scenes because, in a way, because they are able to calculate odds, for and against, depending on the performance of teams and all that. So I feel like what he's saying, if you're able to have an AI agent that is able to also learn the patterns of these teams, their wins, their losses, historical, data and all that, and be able to build a bot agent that can do this kind of betting, I think it will help
so Sharks, are you investing
it will help our community.
Oh, I will invest in it because of not the bets, but in
the wearable one.
In the wearable, because you see, when these things happen, it will help.
Frank, are you against betting?
But my brother,
are you against betting?
You're very aware that the betting industry is a very lucrative.
It's a lucrative industry, yes, yes. That's lucrative. But I'm not investing.
He's investing.
I'm
in
investing in
the
the wearables.
Okay.
I think I have a choice. So
I think he has a problem with betting.
I have a choice. so the point.
We need to have a whole session on betting.
So the point is that with the wearable, you see, with this approach, it will even reduce the injuries that players suffer on the pitch. And this cardiac arrest, people die on the field.
Yeah.
Because if there is a wearable and this is transmitting live feed. Of the player on the pitch or on the court to whoever, medical practitioner, whoever, agent somewhere, we'll be able to determine that maybe the rate this guy is going on the field, the temperature or whatever, his heart rate now, he's probably going to collapse in the next 5 minutes. And these things will be avoided. And some injuries, hamstring injury, fatigue, those things will be avoided.
I think with the wearables, we can tell when LeBron will be on top form and when maybe Steph Curry will be taking over.
Shut up.
Nice night. Good night.
Because see, LeBron is 40 now.
So
we can predict how much gas he has in the tank. You see?
It's because of people like you that you say we'll just retired earlier. So that
but he invested in my business, 3 cities, so I will do 50%.
I like that. Music. Let's take one last one. Music.
Well, for music, recently I've come across a certain trend where artists are trying to kind of create a way for their fans to actually benefit from their music. We moved from selling of cassettes, CDs, and then we moved to digital streaming platforms where you have Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. Now, fans are looking out for what's in for me, for supporting you, for listening to your music. And all that. So I chanced upon Jay-Z, partnering with a company in South Korea, trying to kind of create a platform where his fans will be able to own equity of his music. So you kind of take some ownership of his music, and then you also enjoy some portion of royalties that comes with the music. Sarkodie also did something with I think Opulus, with his the championship mixtape, where he allowed the fans to access the platform and take ownership of every music in the album catalog. So I think that it's a trend that it's worth investing to, and I see where that's the point where music streaming will get to in the years coming.
That's interesting. Sharks, are you investing?
Yes, I'm investing.
I have a question.
Okay, what question do you have?
So, what role does the AI agent play in there?
So currently, more of like the NFTs we spoke about, where these AI agents can be trained to allow these fans to be able to tokenize ownership of the digital assets of this particular artist. When you tokenize it, it becomes like a digital certificate ownership to you, and then you benefit from the music.
So it means that if you have an AI agent that is doing all this for you, You just sleep and
You just sleep and
you're
then
making
you
money.
make
You just sleep and then
And
you
then
wake
you are
up
making money.
and then you have a lot of.
And now it looks like we are getting multiple streams of income.
Exactly.
Looking at
Those
how
are some
AI
of the
is going.
benefits, opportunities of AI. So don't fight it.
I'm
Embrace it.
embracing it.
Yes.
I'm embracing it. But there's a trending topic in town. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but I think Honorable Sam George said something about Ghana and Africa becoming the biggest AI and digital hub. What do you guys think about it? Like, what do you think of the government saying something like that? Ghana, Africa, like becoming the biggest
The
holders in
biggest
terms
AI
of
hub.
AI digital hub.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
having-
think,
There's potential.
yeah.
There is.
There's
But-
potential.
I think it's in
and,
the right
and we will
direction.
try and be optimistic. I will try and be optimistic. I'll try and be
but-
optimistic.
But don't you guys have faith in yourselves?
No,
Like,
the
you
thing
guys
is
can make it
there's
happen.
a lot of data in Africa here. That's untapped. That is untapped.
That is on top. Yeah.
So it's a green field. It's a gold mine.
But-
So my shot, are you going to tap? That's the question.
No.
Oh,
the
we
thing
started tapping.
really is about the funding and the research.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we are willing as a country or as a
a continent.
continent to invest in research, to have these systems developed here, endless possibilities.
The guy says he'll make it a hub, so he'll make the funds. He'll make the funds available.
Yeah. I mean, AI is all about research data. If you have data and you have the research resources to put them together, I'm sure you'll be able to come up with interesting things. So we are with the hope. We are also contributing to the ecosystem. So once the resources are available, why not?
Okay.
We are stakeholders in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, dear government, please make the resources available.
Now,
Because we are ready. It's been a really interesting topic, and I'm sure if we say we are going to sit here, we are going to talk till
Yeah.
daybreak.
I mean,
Plus, my guys here, they don't just talk; they walk the talk.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's just understanding the potential that is out there, and the fact that data is going to be very important, and we have to make sure that we are working with AI and not just fighting AI, because I think in the last podcast I said we are the superpower. We are the ones controlling
Yeah.
the wave.
yeah.
So let's make AI our friends and then harness it well so that we can make the most out of it.
great,
Exactly.
great.
Exactly.
Bashel, wrapping up, if someone is nervous about AI taking their job, what would you say to them?
That's what he'll say.
I like this.
Just that. But coming to think of it, AI is our partner, like as I've been saying from the beginning. So we should try to see AI as a life partner instead of someone coming to take over our jobs. But there's still one thing I'm still looking forward.
Which
That's
is
What is that?
agentic girlfriends. You know.
Eish.
that's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
My brother, what do you
Agentic
think?
girlfriends.
Agentic girlfriends.
Yes.
I mean, it's no. See, it's not far fetched. It's right here.
But it's not far-fetched. But I remember
Because I
Chairman,
can train a model on you. You see?
Yeah, but Chairman mentioned that you
All
can't
the
take
good
away the
sides.
human
All the good
thing.
sides of all the girls.
You can have all the features, but that human element, do you think it will get there? Where they can autonomously do everything that you think you would get from a human.
We'll have to
I mean-
describe who a perfect girlfriend
Who
is.
a perfect girlfriend is, yes. I
Maybe
mean,
perfect to some extent.
Yeah.
I don't think they
There's
can take the place of
possibilities.
humans.
I think so.
Okay, guys. All too soon, we've come to the end of another segment, and I hope this has opened your eyes to the many possibilities we have with AI. So, guys, final words. Chairman, go.
So I think my final words would be that people should not be afraid of AI. They shouldn't panic. They should just see it as a partner. And make the most out of it. Because whether you panic or you don't panic, you fight it or you don't fight it, it is here to stay and you can't do anything about it. So make the best out of it.
Cypher.
I mean, what I would say is AI is here to stay. So you have to upskill, adapt to it. Just like fashion, you know, when fashion changes, you adapt to the trends, right? So it's technology. So adapt to it and then embrace it.
Zizou.
Yeah. So I picture agentic AIs like a conductor of an orchestra. See, so like you have all these agents working for you, and I'm just doing this, and then I'm sitting somewhere, and then they're all working for me and
That's
delivering
nice.
results. Yeah, that's how I picture it. So that's where I want to get to the point where all my tasks, like for instance, if you want to send an email, you probably need like 10, 20 clicks, but one click, then everything is done.
Or even
Or you just say the word,
say the
everything
words.
is done, right? So that's where I'm looking at getting to, and hopefully we'll get there.
We will. Bushel.
I would just say, don't get left behind. Join the train. Simply.
Simple. Join the train. At
Yeah.
ECL, we are defining how our future looks like because we are embracing AI. We are partnering with AI. And AI is definitely going to change the hustle. So to hear more of this, to hear how we can help you take the lead with AI, just join us. Follow us on Enterprise Computing Limited on all our platforms. We have ECL on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. And as always, stay relevant.
Ticket number 1, 2, 3.
No!